is normal for Actually Nigeria, while holding its board meeting, to pay a visit to one of the project sites. This time we have chosen to come to the site where we have a project on the Infanticide. And we are in the home this morning. This is a home we visited some time ago, and we thought there was a need, because we use human rights-based approach to everything that we do. Actually, it's about working with the most vulnerable group. And here we have children that are indeed most vulnerable. But we are happy and proud to have Nigerians like our pastor here, to have taken hold of these vulnerable children. Actually, it is working in collaboration with the home to build a better place than what we are seeing here today. We are also facilitating some of the help that is coming to the home today. And we have seen this place already, but we are moving to a new site where they have bigger space, where the children, we can also build a quarter for the children, because there are very many, as you are going to see very soon. I want to appeal to encourage you not to film the children, at least not to make sure that you can put we don't want their faces to show, because we want to retain their privacy. We want to respect that privacy, but they are real, and that is why we cannot say completely do not show the children. But the reality on ground is that there are some children in Nigeria that are still very, very vulnerable, and the killing of twins in Nigeria is real, and it's not only in this part of the country, but in other parts of the country as well, as Pastor may tell us. So we are here, as the project is taking off, we are going through so many things in terms of the procurement process, for the building of a bigger environment, and also the school itself, building the school, which we are working in collaboration with the European Union. So it's really exciting for us to be here today. The reason we also invited the press is that it's what you know that you can report. What you don't know, you cannot report, and we want journalists that are working with us to know that this thing is real, to work with us and see that this is real, and move along with us, so that when we have the discovery, it's before and after. When you are able to see what is on ground, and 1 year, 2 years down the line, and you go to the site with us, you also be able to know where we are coming from. So I want to really welcome you, the project staff. Well done for the work that you are doing. There's a lot of work for Pastor. His time is also priceless. Cannot delay for too long. We can't hold a long long time session with them, because of the process of the, looking at some of the children, and because they're different ages. And I remember that the last time that I came here, there was a newborn baby who lost the mom at birth. The baby was like 4 days old, and they did not give the baby food for 4 days, because it's considered that when a child loses the mother at birth, it means the child is an evil child. And so the child had some poison or something, had not eaten for 4 days before somebody rushed the child here and became another pastor's child again. And the work that is being done in this home is just so heavenly. Like Mama T will say, it's a heavenly work that we're doing. But we're here to make our contributions.
We have a responsibility to rescue children from about 65 communities in Federal Capital Territory. When we started our missionary work several years ago, in the late 90s in FCT, we discovered among the Abuja indigenes, there is a particular group of people among the indigenes of FCT, the Basakomo tribe, where some children's lives are still in danger because of cultural beliefs. They have about 5 cultural practices we discover as missionaries. Multiple births are not acceptable. Children who lost their mothers are not allowed to live. They are believed to be witches and wizards. Children who are born as albinos are not allowed to live. Children who grow the upper tooth first are believed to be evil. Children who are born with deformities are also believed to be having a demonic manipulation about their birth, so they don't allow them to live. And after several years of engagement, trying to plead with them, they started giving us the opportunity to rescue the children. We started picking the children one after the other. Our first child came from this village where we are today in Keye. That's where we got our first child. We thought it's something isolated, but By the time we began to move further into the interior of FCT today, the practice covered about 5 area councils of FCT. Out of 6 area councils, 5 area councils were involved. Like I said, 65 communities in all. So we'll go inside, play with them, and then pick up the children. But today, that has been reduced to some extent that we don't run around again. On their own, after the government intervention to investigate whether the story is true, because the government of Nigeria had to come in to find out if the practice is actually true. We were asked to report to the office of the minister some years back to confirm whether the story they are saying on TV are true and reading on Nigerian newspaper are true. So we were at the office of the minister in 2012, and we told them the stories, gave them the name of the communities, after which they did their investigation. If that investigations were not true, this one will not be standing today. They will have closed us down and probably prosecute us for sending out fake information to the public. But after they investigated, they found out the story is true, and they started their own intervention to reach out to the people. As of today, the last time you came, you said you have our youngest baby. That baby has grown up now. That's blessing. We have our youngest baby in the house today. It's a baby girl. I think Jennifer. I name her Jennifer. She should be about 7 days old today. And she's the youngest baby. He lost the mother. It's the youngest baby we have in the house. And after the baby you talked about, we have received another baby. Before Jennifer came 7 days ago, Moshe was the youngest. He's just 3 months plus, a baby boy from a village in Abuja. They lost the mother too, because those community maternal mortality is very high, very, very high, because there is no access to maternal health. And then the mother dies, they said it's the child that kills the mother. And so as of today, we have a total of 158 children in the home. 158 children in the home, and they are in various categories, from age 1, 2, 3 up like that. And the majority of them have gone to school. Apart from babies that you see at home, there is a group of students at home today because they have midterm today and yesterday. They are home, but the majority of them have gone to school. By 2 o'clock now, today is Friday, if you enter the compound, you don't need to be told you are in Vine Heritage. You see children all over running up and down. So you are all welcome. And I want to thank all the board members that came today, that we are happy to receive you. And it's been good working with Action AIDS Nigeria. It's been worthwhile working with them, because not leaving anything behind, that relating with them has further improved our own operation. And I know by the time we are ending the project, Vine Heritage will not be the same again, because we are just barely 1 year into the program. A lot of things are coming to being. There are some things that we are not doing before that they are helping us to look at it from this angle. So I know by the time we are rounding up, everybody will be talking of Vine Heritage internationally, because our operation will have improved, our facility will have improved, everything about our operation will have improved far better than where we started. Thank you very much for coming. You're welcome.
No, I think we are still going. Lola, are you going around now? You are not going around.
We're going to the children area. Please remember what's
Here we have our youngest babies.
To be carried.
You want me to carry you again?
She's a triplet.
Okay, triplet.
Yeah, the brother.
Okay, it's you.
Now, you want to go down?
That they have discovered they are evil.
Where should I keep him?
I will come and see you again.
He's on this bed. How are you?
She's ready. Spoil.
He's not only come down. Sorry. Take.
See you soon. Don't come.
Big look.
Meanwhile, places like this, not just Abuja, in other states.
For that instance, I'll be taking
Work
some.
with barefoot there. No, it's not good to work with barefoot. But then, they continue to insist now. Maybe to avoid carrying jam.
I'll go and open my ordinary leg for that. I later, okay, you are rolling. I later off the shoe, but I can't stay on it. I step on it. When they allow me, they will leave you in time. I beg you. See the sort of water.
My name is James Millagam from Taraba Street. The board members are here to visit, this project and to see what is happening, with the support that is being given to this project. We've had Pastor, this definitely would encourage Action Aid to give more support in terms of finance, in terms of advocacy, in terms of talking to people in authority to support this project. if you look at the number of children here, we were discussing with a colleague, and I said, well, you can imagine a situation where you have up to 5 children to take care of. And she said, even one. And you know, it is extremely difficult to bring up even just one child, not to talk of 158. It's, this is a massive project. And is a clear demonstration of pastor's commitment to this very project. And the board is extremely happy. We are very happy with what is happening here.
The whole thing is about issues of child protection and the rights, because we use human rights-based approach to everything that we do. We work with the most vulnerable people. The vulnerable, whether youth, whether women or the young people, and in this case, it's children. Their right to life ought to be protected. We have the Child Rights Act, which many states have domesticated, but some have not domesticated. And this is the core. It's not just the issue of just vulnerability, but the issue of culture needs to be, brought on board. There was a committee meeting yesterday on child protection. This is actually its contribution to child protection. We are working in a way that every child should have a right to life. That you lose your mom doesn't mean that you are evil. The child has no idea. In Nigeria today, we have more maternal mortality. Issues of maternal mortality is a reality in the rural areas. This child that is 7 days old now, what happened? When you look at Abuja, you think we are not in a rural community. If you go to some of the areas, you drive for hours, which is within the Federal Capital Territory. Resources are not there. How many new hospitals have been built? The lack of facilities within the environment. So when they say maternal mortality, where do you find them? If you go to the cities, maybe not many mothers are dying, but in the rural areas, many mothers are dying. And it is not a crime. Then you have multiple beds. You say you have 2 children, you have committed a crime. You say the children are evil. How does blessings become evil? You have 3 children, that is a multitude. People are looking for children. So we need to look at it from the angle of culture. How does a child that is a twin become, evil to my home? Because they did not even believe pastor in the first place. They did not believe that the children will survive, is to say that pastor will die or the children will die. Because that's the belief. So we are working. It's an issue of advocacy. It's an issue of enlightenment. Culture is dynamic. Some of about 11 communities have stopped this already. They are bringing themselves on board, slowly. Culture is something that does not just change overnight. It's over time. And so it's for us to work with these, communities to see how they can change their attitude. The hope is that in time, we start integrating the children back to their communities because they are blessings. Some of them are in schools today. Maybe if they are in the rural communities, they may not even have schools to go. And so what we are doing now, we are going to, when we came into this site at first, we thought we could build the school here. But we looked at the site and we saw that the place is not big enough. Because as they grow bigger, they need space for football, they need space for different activities. And that is the reason why we need to have a bigger place. And so now we have gotten a bigger land. And that's where we are going to pull the building to. This place may remain as an agricultural land. Actually, staff made a contribution when we were confused about the land. Even bought a land. Behind here, there is a land that actually staff contributed and bought a land because we were confused about, okay, how do we expand to make sure that these children have more rooms? You can see that the space is not much. And they started this a long time ago. We hope that we will be able to bring other players. The FCT, in this project, we've brought in the government. The government, there is a desk office, for the local governments that are involved, and all of them are willing to help. They are very excited. Some of those who even work here, who are indigenous, do not know that anything like that exists about twins. So it's an issue of enlightenment. To get through culture, you cannot do it by force. And so there's a lot of advocacy that is involved. We have gone to different communities. We will go more until the change happens. And we know changes are happening. To put the foundation down. And then, we want to partner with the Human Rights Commission and all stakeholders that can, make a difference.
from here before we have to enter. In fact, this place is not that
That is a shortcut from here to Babalada. Yeah. For us studying
Please come and Raila. I do political studies.
Oh, thank you.